A word or two about working with teams in order to create, whatever the team, whatever the environment, a truly high performance team. First thing to note is that just as we are all unique individuals, so is each team unique. It is made up of unique individuals, and as soon as they come together, they begin to form and very quickly establish a unique organism of the team. That organism should be greater than the sum of its parts. If it's a truly high-performing team, it certainly is greater than the sum of its parts and enables each individual within it to exceed that performance, their expectations, their capabilities, far higher or further than they would on their own. So that's the aim. What gets in the way? Well, there are several key principles I'm just going to touch on in this video. First of all is alignment. Everybody talks about, yeah, we need to be aligned around our purpose and our mission and all this good stuff. And yet too often it's just lip service that is paid. People come together because they have a certain name on their business card, they fulfill a certain function. They're together for a few hours a week or a few hours a month, and then they disperse and get on with the rest of their jobs. So this, too often, is what a team looks like. A truly high-performing team looks like this, where each individual is truly aligned, not only with each other, but with the aims and objectives of the team itself. This takes work. Why does it take work to create alignment when everybody knows what, or supposed to know what they're there for? Well, it's because of what happens when we come together as a group. Elsewhere, you can explore the paradoxes that we are subject to as individuals when we enter a group. We want to be a part of the group, but we want to maintain our own independence. We want to give time to the group, but we also want to give time to other things. I want to know and support and have leadership, but I don't want to be told what to do. We're constantly balancing all of these. We're also balancing that paradox of wanting to be liked, wanting to be accepted, wanting to be good, but also wanting to be honest, wanting to tell the truth, wanting to do what we're there for, to say the truth as we see it, however upsetting that may be for others. And we know that we're constantly balancing that paradox within every relationship. People bring in all of their psychology, all of their emotional needs into it. And that's why Tuckman's 4 stages of team formation, forming, storming, norming and performing, occur. But as we know, the forming and storming very rarely take place intentionally focused upon the purpose of the team. It usually takes place purely upon the psychological and emotional needs of the individuals. Who has a need to be heard most? Who wants to sit at the back and doesn't want attention? Who wants to establish their superiority? Who is frightened and timid and therefore doesn't want to say anything even when they know they should? And those, then the norming, the interpersonal behavioural norms that are set, have really nothing to do with the purpose of the team. They're just there to support the various needs of the individuals. And that sets the system. It sets the organism, the way that organism behaves internally and externally. And usually means that performance is 40 to 60% of potential. So what can we do about that? Well, in working with teams, the key thing is to storm and norm intentionally with a focus upon purpose and with a strong intention to bring the alignment of these disparate individuals into true alignment, both internally and externally, emotionally, psychologically, and professionally, purposefully. The best way to do that is at the level of values. Because as Richard Barrett once said, values unite, it's beliefs that divide. And we've all known where we've gone in and we've had team values or organisational values given to us. Doesn't work. Often we've been called in where the reason we're there is because they've done their values exercise, i.e. the great and the good have gone off somewhere for 5 days and come back like Moses from the mountain with the tablet saying, hello organisation, here are your values, tell us how you're going to live them. Well, that certainly doesn't work for high performance teams, nor does it work for high performance leadership teams. The values that team will use to guide their behaviour and interaction has to come out of that unique organism, for it is different every time for every team, and it changes over time. Now, Lencioni wrote a book about the 5 dysfunctions of a team. And when you read that book, as you can see here on screen, there are key elements that are required for a high-performing team. Trust, the ability to handle conflict, commitment, accountability, and a true focus on performance and on results. Now, in working with teams, one can work from individual values to aggregate team values to which everybody can buy in. But again, that's not enough. First of all, we have to understand, how do I know that I and other people are living these values? So the team then has to generate the evidence that they want to see for themselves and their colleagues living those values. When you have that, you have a frame of reference in which judgments can be made, in which you can help people achieve those values when they drop off. And certainly when people join, you can say, this is what we expect. On top of that, you need to develop rules of engagement for the team. So in order to display and live these values, what do we need to do? And these rules of engagement have 2 important aspects. There's what we do and what we expect. But equally important, there's what we do not do and what we do not accept. Too often, particularly in business, what we don't do and what we do not accept is not clearly defined. And that means there's a lot of fudge that can get in. And we've all been in the situation where we have a toxic team member, but because they can tick all the boxes on their job description, there's no way of demonstrating or proving that their behaviours are actually destroying that team cohesion that we spent so long to build. So you need to know what is expected and not accepted as well, what we do not do around here. In sports, that's very clear. That distance between success and failure, the definition of what we do and what we don't do, is very, very close. And the higher the performing team, the clearer both of those elements are. When you've got those, then it's just a matter of modifying behaviour. You cannot coach a team by coaching the individuals, nor can you coach individuals by coaching the team. Both have to happen. You coach the organism of the team as an organism, and then you help each individual understand how to overcome their limiting beliefs and behaviours when it comes to putting into practice the very behaviours and values that they as a group have developed. Those are just some of the aspects to be aware of when you're working to create a truly high-performing team. And finally, you then have a high-performing leadership team, which is a high-performing team, but it has a leadership function. And that leadership function has to be unified. So how, as a team, as a unique collection of individuals, can you truly and authentically provide unified leadership to those who follow you without compromising that internal sense of leadership integrity? And that is another process.